What's up, Arkansas fans, quarterback fans, SEC, college football fans in general? Welcome to another quarterback spotlight video. Today we're going to talk about Arkansas quarterback KJ Jefferson and why he is one of the best quarterbacks in all of college football. There's a few keys that we're going to talk about, but before we keep going into the video, we're going to start putting out videos again once every week, and we're going to spend the majority of the time over the SEC quarterbacks and kind of build up what makes each quarterback good and what each quarterback brings to the table in that specific quarterback room. But today, we're talking about KJ Jefferson and why he's one of the best quarterbacks in all of college football. And it comes down to three main keys for me. One, it's his ability to push the ball downfield, which we're going to get into. Two, it's his ability to run the RPO and fit that system. And then three, it's his ability to make plays whenever the play breaks down, whether it is a scramble or, buying time with his legs to push the ball downfield. But I do think it starts with his ability to push the ball downfield, number one. And before we dive into some film, let's look at this 247 Sports list that just came out. Sorry, I'm looking at my phone right now. It had KJ Jefferson ranked as the fifth quarterback in all of college football and the second quarterback in the SEC heading into the 2022 season. 247 Sports article by, I forget his name, Brad Crawford, I believe. Sorry, like giving them credit. But anyways, the 2022 outlook, according to him, on KJ, this is him talking. He says, "Here's a player with impressive size who does everything you want out of the quarterback spot. Few players enhanced their athletic development as much as KJ Jefferson last season, going from hopeful impact starter to team MVP and one of the SEC's best by season end. Jefferson's not as tall as Cam Newton at 6'3", 245, but plays a similar rugged style that is the perfect fit for the Razorbacks' attack under Kendall Briles. Need him to get tough yards on third and manageable? He can do that. Need him to pull it and fire one to the second level with precision? Jefferson checks that box. It's the physical nature at which he plays along with leadership qualities that makes Jefferson a potential SEC MVP candidate in 2022. I think this is a very fair ranking. A lot of people probably don't even have KJ this high, but I think it's a fair ranking, and I think it's actually a pretty good analysis on 247 Sports part. The quarterbacks in front of him, I think, are all fair arguments you can make. Dylan Gabriel from Oklahoma. Then they have Caleb Williams from USC, C.J. Stroud, Ohio State, and then, of course, Bryce Young from Alabama. And then the other SEC quarterbacks, Hendon Hooker was right behind KJ Jefferson, and then they have a few more guys behind him as well. But I digress. Let's go ahead and talk about the reasons why KJ is one of the best quarterbacks in all of college football. Anyone that's watched this channel before knows how highly I think of KJ pushing the ball downfield. I think that's number one. Without the ability to push the ball downfield and do so accurately, the RPO is not going to be as effective, and the scrambles won't be as impactful either, because of the simple fact he can't push the ball downfield, or if he couldn't push the ball downfield, right? So all these plays we're seeing several different types of throws here, right? We're seeing his ability to push the ball downfield as far as it relates to throwing a go route or a bomb route. We're seeing the ability to fit the ball into tight spaces and tight windows, and that's something that people have brought up saying that he can't do or have asked questions about it, and largely because it's the RPO scheme, right? And the RPO scheme, more times than not, try to scheme open receivers, but I think you saw time after time in pretty critical situations KJ throw his receivers open, whether it's the back shuttle throw to Burks for a touchdown against Bama. He had several throws against that Alabama defense where he threw guys open, but also threw it this season as well. So, again, the ability to throw the ball downfield is why I think KJ is one of the best quarterbacks in college football. Fit the ball in the tight spaces, the ability to move within the pocket with his eyes downfield, and it's more than just guys being schemed open. NFL-style throws, more times than not, are throws within tight windows. And you see several of these throws throughout these videos we're watching of KJ Jefferson being able to make it. So if we look statistically at KJ from last year, the 2021 season, he was a slightly over 67% completion passer. He was slightly over 2,600 yards throwing, 21 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, so a TD to interception ratio better than 5-4, which is outstanding, right? Taking care of the ball is numero uno in any offense. And yards per attempt are 9.1, right? So that right there is one of my favorite stats. I'm not a huge stat guy, but of course stats do help tell kind of what the quarterback's able to do. So the fact that he's pushing the ball downfield at yards per attempt more than 9 is outstanding. You want your quarterback today's game, probably like 7.5, and he's right in that 9 range, which is one of the better ranges in all of the SEC. So takes care of the football, he pushes it downfield, great combination, and does so accurately. Let's move on to number 2. It's the ability to run the actual Kendall Briles system, right? As high as I am on him as a passer, and I think he still probably doesn't get enough credit as a passer, I don't want to neglect and say that he doesn't fit the system extremely well, because he does. We can see here it's not just the athleticism that makes him good in this system, though. It's his intelligence, and it's his ability to read the defense and know what to do with the ball, right? So it largely comes down to a numbers game. Does the box tell you to keep it, or does the box tell you to run? If we have more guys than you can block, I'm probably going to pass. If you have more blockers than the defense has in the box, fairly simple, I'm going to give the ball to the back, or I'm going to keep it depending what the defensive end does or whoever my read guy is. So the RPO, the ability to run that system extremely well, is what makes him so good. I do think he would fit into multiple systems, but again, this system has really fit his skill set really well, and I don't think Briles would want any other quarterback than KJ Jefferson. So Jefferson was he first or second on the team in rushing last year? I know there'll be an Arkansas fan that will be able to tell us, but he had 664 yards on the ground, 6 touchdowns, yards per rush were 4.5, which again is kind of taken away from the sacks. I don't have the exact kind of I don't have how many times he was sacked to take that away, but regardless, was either the first or second rusher on the team. 6 touchdowns. I think that I want to say that tied for leading rushing touchdowns on the team as well, or if not, it was up there. Regardless, though, the ability to run the RPO, the ability to run in general is huge for KJ. Last thing that I think makes him such a great quarterback is his ability to go off script when he needs to, make a play with his legs that wasn't a run design, or scramble, keep his eyes downfield as we're seeing some of these clips, and throw a deep ball downfield, right? So that's something else that kind of just separates KJ. You have a lot of good athletes that can play quarterback, and they scramble. It's one thing to scramble. It's one thing to scramble and do something with the ball and be successful with the ball, right? And that's what KJ is able to do. So I think when you combine his qualities of his intelligence of running the system, his ability to fit the ball downfield, and then when you combine that with his athleticism, that's why I think his ability to go off script is so dangerous. He can hurt so many teams. Even if the defense has it fit perfectly or defended perfectly, he's still able to go off script, scramble, make a guy miss, and more times than not have a successful pass downfield or take off and run it himself, as we saw some of these clips here. So again, just to kind of recap all this, the top 3 kind of keys that I think make KJ such one of the best quarterbacks in all of college football: the ability to push the ball downfield. And anyone that's watched this channel before knows I've kind of harped on that before on KJ, right? So the ability to push the ball downfield, tight windows, throws guys open. Those are NFL-style qualities. Number 2, the ability to run the RPO system, not just because he's an athletic, big quarterback, but because he's an intelligent quarterback. He's able to understand what the defense is trying to do, and then he's able to understand what Briles wants within the offense, right? So it's the ability to just read the defense and kind of understand the system overall. Then number 3, the ability to go off script and just use that God-given athletic ability that he has to pick up first downs with the legs, to avoid sacks and just throw the ball away, or to avoid sacks and to have a big ball downfield. So again, those are kind of the top 3 keys I think make KJ one of the best quarterbacks in all college football. I think putting him in top 5 is pretty fair. I think I'm okay with any argument that at least has KJ in the top 7 or top 8. I probably have KJ in that 5-ish range, but I think I'm okay with any argument. I think you have a Hendon Hooker argument you can make there. You have a few other arguments that you can make for KJ Jefferson, but at least heading into the season, I think the 5-ish range is a pretty fair range with the potential to be even higher. So that's kind of all we have for KJ Jefferson, and the 3 keys that make him a good quarterback and make him one of the best quarterbacks in all of college football. But I want to hear from you. What do you think about KJ Jefferson? What do you think about this ranking on this 247 Sports list? I'll put the link in the description below if I don't forget, so you can go check it out yourself and look at all the other quarterbacks. And we'll have another SEC quarterback we break down next week, and we'll see you next time on the next quarterback-related video.